Dear dragons, I just wanted to remind you today that you really need to just follow your own path with the dragons. Yes, I make tons of content about dragons, about how to work with dragons, about various paths with the dragons, about literally the kinds of dragons that I work with. And I do this to share my experience, to help you, because my dragons tell me to share. But ultimately, you really shouldn't be sharing what you learn with the dragons unless they tell you to, unless they really tell you to show up and offer your wisdom. And let me tell you something. I've met many dragon witches who don't share their practice and have really only shared very little bits with me simply because of who I am. Over on my main channel, Zura Dragon Feather, the Draconic Priestess, and how I'm so dedicated to learning about dragon magic and sharing that with the world, and have been doing so since 2012, right? Meeting these witches made me realize that there is a level of power within secrecy of your craft that you must always cultivate. And even in my practice, with as much as it looks like I share here online, I'm always creating versions to share of my actual practice. Therefore, my actual lived practices aren't online, and they never have been. And if they have been, it was when I was very young and little. Meaning it was like when I was a minor, not really understanding what I was sharing completely at that time. And now in my personal practice, I'm just here to remind people that there's so much sacred energy in keeping your practice to yourself and keeping your wisdom to yourself, and really being selective with what you share, even when the dragons tell you that you can share things. Because at the end of the day, once you share something, you can't unshare that. And there are things that I shared, especially when I was young on my path, that I wish I really didn't. I feel like I exposed myself a little bit too much, and that's something that taught me a lesson on my path. And that's just kind of what I wanted to share with you guys today, as I'm reflecting on it now, going through my practice of, sharing how far I've come, and sharing more bodies of work that I've been doing with the dragons over my lifetime. It really makes me reflect on what do I want to share and what do I want to keep close to my chest, and with the dragons, and between me and the dragons and God, really. And there's some things that I want to share and that I feel called to share, and using our discernment. Sorry, the sprinklers just went on. But using our discernment and choosing what we do share, even if it's just with friends in person, it doesn't even have to be online, but just choosing what we expose to other people about our faith with the dragons is just something I wanted to offer a little bit of a beware moment, because it can really bite you in the ass sometimes later in life. And there's nothing wrong with nobody knowing about your practice or your craft. And that's something that I really just wanted to remind everybody today, is that even if you do share your craft publicly too, I'm not saying don't be a creator about dragon magic. No, if you feel called to that, definitely do that. But when you do that, my only caution is that just beware what you do share, and just remember to keep a lot to yourself, because it is a gift to yourself, to your soul, to your spirit. And in keeping most of your practice between you and your dragons, it's going to cultivate confidence within you. It's going to cultivate trust and faith with your dragons. It's going to strengthen your bond with your dragons, and it's going to bring you about an experience that makes your dragons truly for you, right? If you share everything, then your dragons are not for you only anymore. They become for the public consumption, and that kind of ruins their sacredness, right? And that's all I'm trying to share, is that I do have some dragons that I'm public about on my channels and in just what I share, but the majority of the dragons I encounter and work with, I don't talk about. And that's for me, because they help me do what I need, right? And that's just something that I really wanted to share today, and just remind you guys to keep some of your wisdom to yourself too, and the wisdom you do choose to keep to yourself, cherish it deeply. and make sure that never a second goes by when you do not cherish what your dragons have taught you, that you choose to keep to yourself and focus on your studies even if no one sees them, okay? That's like the main point of today's video. Focus on studying the dragons and studying your magic and studying thyself, even if no one sees, okay? Even if no one reads the pages of your grimoire, okay? Even if you never post videos like I do it anyway. Do that work anyway, study anyway, all right? Because that is what matters when we are dragon witches on the practice of dragon magic, okay? Any dragon's path, it's so important to do this, okay? So I just wanted to remind everybody how sacred and special it is to work with dragons and to not be in a rush to share everything, because you really shouldn't be, okay? It was given to you for a reason, all right? So honor it and cherish it like the sacred, literal sacred honor that it is. So that's pretty much all I have for today's video, and don't forget to check out my main channel. We're doing 30 days of dragon path. Over on my main channel, I'm sharing beginner's guide every single day of a different dragon path, so you have a guide of where to get started if you are interested and lost of how to practice or work with dragons in any capacity. And they're also just kind of an example of how your craft can look. Ultimately, it's supposed to look however you want it to, right? And then I, of course, offer readings, dragon-themed tarot readings on my main channel every day at midnight. So if you're interested in that, go to click my main channel and subscribe. It's linked down below. But other than that, I will literally just see you tomorrow. And I'm just a girl who follows her dragons, okay? So I'll definitely be seeing you in the Hatchling clan to talk more about this, all right? It's also linked down below if you haven't joined us already, my darlings. But until next time, be brave, little dragon. And I love you.